In this video, I want to do a data dive into Table 4 from Jobs for TN. This is Federal Table 4. It's called Measurable Skill Gains by Entry Level. And this table has a lot of information that I use on a daily basis, but I am not going to go into this in detail. I just want to pull out the pieces of data that I need to explain. The question that sparked this video was from a part-time instructor who asked me recently, why is my measurable skill gain percentage decreasing when my high set number is increasing? That is an excellent question, and I am going to answer that in this video. But it really made me think about something, and that is this point. A lot of our part-time instructors in the field may never look at Table 4. Table 4 is such a part of my life that I assume everybody looks at Table 4 every day. That is not the case. And some folks do not even know what I'm talking about when I say, oh, it comes from Table 4. So I want to take you into a data dive today of where that measurable skill gain percentage comes from. And then I will answer that awesome question that I was asked. To begin this video, I want to first define a measurable skill gain or review that with you. We talk a lot about measurable skills gains, and it's important to really understand what we're talking about. So for the purpose of this video, measurable skill gain, or MSG, comes from two main places. We have the post-test gains on TABE and CASAS. So a student gets 40 hours, takes a post-test, and moves to a higher NRS level. Those are EFL gains, or educational functioning level. Educational functional, I can't remember if it's function or functioning. I'm going to use functioning. We call those EFL gains. So these come from the post-test. A student who earns a high-set diploma, an HSC, also qualifies as a measurable skills gain. So when we talk about the measurable skills gain percentage, we're looking at students who have a post-test gain or a high set. A lot of times our students have both. They'll have a post-test gain and then a high set gain. The higher gain, the higher credential, is the one that counts. So once the student gets the high set, the post-test gain does not show up on this table. I do also need to point out to you that people on any federal table have at least 12 hours. So we are not going to see our registered students on this table. Until they get to 12 hours, they do not show on a federal table. So let's zoom in here. This is the percentage of measurable skill gains for the District 2, on October the 5th. So if you notice down here, here is the box I'm looking at for this video. 20.31 is our measurable skill gain percentage. So that means that 20 out of every 100 students who are in our program right now have either a post-test gain, which is the EFL gain, or an HSC. So that's at its basic premise what this percentage means. Or 1 out of 5 students right now has either an EFL gain or a high set. The state target for our school year is 40%. So at this moment, we are looking at half of our target, 40% or higher. So that is in essence what that percentage tells me mathematically. Okay, let's back up and take a look at this number. The first column right here gives me the entering educational functioning level. So the baseline EFL, they break them into the 6 categories of AE and the 6 categories of ESL. It tells me how many students are in each category. Tells me that we have 618 students district-wide in adult ed, and that we have 90 students district-wide in ESL. And this one bothers me, that there's somebody in this district who has 12 hours and no pretest. That's an audit finding. And I need to look at that, who that one person is, and make sure we get that fixed. But the grand total for adult ed, ESL, and the no EFL is 709. So at this moment, the snapshot in time in adult ed, we have 709 students total. Okay, so of that 709, 20% of them have an EFL gain or an HSC. Let's look at column E, the number who attained at least one EFL gain. So my question to you is, can a student get more than one EFL gain in a school year? And absolutely they can. Because remember, we do this testing every 40 hours. So student comes to class for 40 hours, takes a post-test, gets a gain. He comes to class for another 40 hours, takes a post-test, gets another gain. And you might be thinking, well, why would any student need to come to our program for 80 hours? A student who starts at level 1 may take much longer than that to move through the levels. So that is definitely a possibility that you can have more than one EFL gain. However, only the higher gain counts. So if a student takes the test 3 times in a year and gets a level gain every time, we can only count one gain for that student per year. Right now in this district, we have 58 students who have at least one gain. These are from post-tests. Right now in this district, we have 86 students who have a high set. So let's do some basic math here. You guys know I have to do math. If I do a video, it has to involve math. I'm going to take my 58 students with a post-test gain, and I'm going to divide that by my grand total, my 709 students in the program. Post-test divided by total. And that is approximately 8% when I round. I take my 86 high sets divided by the 709 in the grand total, and that gives me about 12% when I round. 8 plus 12 is about 20%. This is actually not how the algorithm for the computer program works. What they do is they take the EFL gains plus the high sets, and they add those together. and then divide by the total. And that comes out to be approximately 20.31%. And that is where that MSG percentage comes from. So when the feds are saying 40% is your target, they're saying that between these two metrics, 40% of your students need to be positive for those metrics. They need a post-test gain or an HSE. So back to the question that started all this. How can my measurable skill gain percentage decrease while my HiSET number is increasing? So let's look at that right here. That's this part. Remember, this is your HiSET number. This was your total. And this is your measurable skill gain. So the instructor was asking me, how can this number decrease while this number is increasing? Well, the only other variable in this mix is this number. The answer to the question is this. This number is a moving target. Okay? I pulled this report about an hour ago. Think about how many data entry people have been working over that last hour, district-wide. How many students have been added to this total since I pulled this report? There is a constant influx of data in this program. So this number changes sometimes by the minute, depending on the time of the week, the work day, who's entering data at any given time. It's just, this 709 is just a snapshot in this split second in this whole journey of this school year. That's why on the data reports, the status reports that I send to you, I always tell you when I ran the report, so that if you know that data has been entered since the date on that report, you can safely assume, well, I won't say safely assume, but that definitely would explain discrepancies between my data and your data. So just to recap, we did a data dive into where MSGs come from. They come from post-test plus HiSETs divided by total. And the question, why is my MSG percentage dropping but my HiSETs are increasing? It's because of a change in your total. Your total number is changing. And that's the variable that's so hard to pin down. I hope this video has helped you to understand a little more about measurable skill gains. If you have questions about data, please send them to me, and I will either do a video clip or I will answer your question. This is the kind of thing that everybody needs to understand because our funding depends on it, and therefore our jobs depend on it. Look at those status reports and really make sure that you understand what they're saying, because our futures in this program depend on these data today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.